in circles, running around. Break down, chase the light. We're all in, but on the go. Running for my life. Feel the light. Running for my life. Running for my life. my hopes and don't even know it. In a life that's upside down, somehow you turn me around. So stay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bloody Lifetime, and here with me today is my wonderful friend and brother from another mother, and wonderful co-host, Mechanus Cadesius. And
It's a lot of extrapolatives.
and today we are doing our week 2 game of our Lance Division of Underworld versus Vibe Tribe, and Underworld starting off with an Ao Kwang ban,
And it
and
looks like the respect ban going on to Jolly Green's Maui here as well.
yeah, Jolly Green doing good on that Maui on our week 1 is gonna see it banned out now.
And a Ku Colin ban away from looks Tyrion in solo and Freya away from Death the King of the Underworld. The Underworld making a bit of a shocking trade, if you ask me. Same with Vibe Tribe getting Guardian Wolf Soul in exchange for their first pick.
Well, not all things work out, but Fenrir and Habwa are going to see banned, and Underworld picking up a good pick here, picking up the Cleodna first pick. We'll see how that pays off.
Cleodna, Epic Wizard, I know, has been a pretty solid jungle for Underworld. Has been able to enable Neptune to do quite a bit from that mid lane. Neptune, your week 1 mid lane champion for the Lance division. So hopefully we can see some more enabling out of this jungle pick, or might even be a solo pick.
Cleodna does not see much play in solo um since season 10 dropped. However, it is still a healthy pick that can go either way and can be scary in both regards. And Vive tried picking up Ularun, who is really strong in the meta right now, as is all mage ADCs, which is why Soul could be coming out of Underworld here. However, in it, and you'll see a Soul and
Hell,
Hell picked up.
oh, that's spicy. I like seeing a spice right there. But to get into this set of 4 picks that dropped right here, Oleron, that ultimate, especially combined with Athena's taunt, that's gonna hurt quite a bit. And the Agni to round up the top 3 for Vibe Tribe.
So you definitely see here that we're expecting some jungles to get banned out on the side of Underworld for this Vibe Tribe squad, as well as some supports or getting banned out for Underworld since they don't have one yet. Liking this Underworld draft, having Cleodna Soul Hell, they are very healthy. They have a lot of healing built into that Soul and that Hell that will keep them a lot safer than some other guys being able to keep their team up, keep themselves up in these fights.
Absolutely. And looking at the Guan Yu, the Thor ban now coming through as well with Ymir again. Just another tank ban heading into Underworld.
And that's kind of what you expect to see since they don't have their front line yet on Underworld. So you kind of expect to see the Guan, like the support and solo bands. So Ymir, Guan, not fully a surprise. And out of Underworld, that Thor, that Tsukiyomi, no surprise there banning out them junglers.
Absolutely. I'm looking probably for a good CC jungler out of Vibe Tribe. They've got quite a bit of setup in the Athena, but I feel like for the Olarun, for the Agni, they need just a little bit more. And jungle might be the place to go get that setup. You've still got things like Nisha out there available to be picked. Mercury's still on the board, good setup. And I forget what the ability is called, but the one where he's running around them.
And on that same note, Lancelot getting picked up for Vibe Tribe. eh, Looking at these teams, Vibe Tribe has Underworld outnumbered in CC dramatically with the Oro knockup, the ult,
The
Athena taunt,
right
Agni
here, the
bombs mixed with the fumes to get stuns, the cripple on this Lancelot. Hell, she has a slow and she has a cleanse.
The
And
question in this game right now is how well can Neptune play this hell? And if he plays like he did last week, I think we have an answer. The
Yamoja and
Yamoja
Odin.
Odin coming through, and that is dangerous. None of these four picks have a way out of that Odin cage.
Uh, the only one that does is actually Lance, since he's able to use one of his abilities to jump off his horse, but he has to be on his horse in order to be able to do that.
I mean, it takes a lot of
But
time to set up, and if he cages Lancelot without the horse, it's over.
that is a strong last pick, and Vamana getting picked into it is an interesting choice. I do believe Vamana's ult can go through the Odin walls, so
I believe the ult does go through player made walls, but he takes
oh,
big damage for doing it. If I remember the way Odin ult got reworked.
the Odin ult, it does do damage now when you go through it, but what is more dangerous, damage or 100% anti-heal? For Vamana with his ultimate, the Colossus, otherwise known as becoming the big baby, having massive lifesteal on it, I think you're going to choose the damage 100% of the time.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying the damage is dangerous in comparison to that 100% just complete healing nullification, but it is worth keeping in mind because that little bit of extra damage can sometimes be the tipping point in living or dying.
Yeah, I'm also expecting this Vibe Tribe to pick up a Phantom Shell as well, since only two players can get out, and you always need outs to the Odin cage.
Phantom Shell very likely to be picked up, but we'll figure that out when we actually get into game one of the set between the Vibe Tribe and the Underworld of our Lancelot division.
And both these teams are coming out of a win in week one. So both of them starting this league off right, getting a win, and now they're going into their second match, and only one team can leave going undefeated going into week three next week.
Absolutely. So will it be Vibe Tribe or the Underworld? What do you think? How is game one looking to
Just
you?
on drafts alone, I'm really liking this Vibe Tribe squad. I'm liking the Athena, I'm liking the Olaroon, I'm liking the Agni. Yes, the Underworld has very strong healing with the Emojo, with the Hell, with the Soul. But if Vibe Tribe can get that anti-heal online and keep it sustained onto the carries, onto that Yum, and onto that team, it's going to be rough for them this game because with the CC and the amount of anti-heal that they can get out onto that team and being so weak to it, having three gods with really strong healing on their team, make it just a premier item for this Vibe Tribe squad. It's going to be a struggle.
Absolutely.
On play alone, I'll you tell me, who do you think has the stronger team coming out of week one?
Coming out of week one, if uh, with that trade that Vibe Tribe made, getting Guardian Wolf Soul and ADC, I feel like Vibe Tribe has the stronger overall team, but Underworld has a wild card in that they have a true carrying player out of that mid lane role. Neptune Spartan showing last week that he can absolutely take over a game. And what better a pick to take over a game with than Hell?
Yeah, Hell, being a Hell main myself, she is so strong if she can get ahead and get her items online. She is one of those gods that will get to late game and will continue to dominate the late game. Her early game is really weak comparatively, but it looks like, with that Hell pick, they're going to be trying to get to that late game and really try and make it the difference there. If she can get a kill early, then it will lead to great things in this lane through and through.
And we see the Hell getting the lane after the Agni and the Lance And just trying to get some solo farm, it looks like, with Klidna already heading over to that duo lane, looking for a solid gank on this Athena and this Olorun. Getting
And that
behind
Olo
them
is a half.
unseen. It looks like
Good
Leo getting in and Olo going down. First blood to the Underworld squad here.
And Epic Wizard with a good rotation, targeting out and focusing that Olorun was such a good choice there. With the Athena having the ability to potentially have dash, great choice to target the immobile ADC. First blood going to Underworld is a great start for this Underworld squad. And Lancelot
Absolutely.
looking to make a rotation as well, trying to even
Going
things
in with
out.
the horse, but
Just gonna
didn't
fling the
get
horse
the.
and gonna leave here. And that
I like.
Athena
I
is at quarter HP, and so is Odin for this Underworld squad. That Tyron look at a quarter HP versus Sleepy, and Jolly Green looking a little bit rough into decent death.
looking back over at what just happened there in the duo lane for a moment. I kind of like that the Lance through the ability said, "Oh, I can't really." And a kill
And
for
Neptune taking out Kaynade with that one off the hell, max ranging
was
than
that?
her Dark Stance.
I was gonna say, was that the light or the dark stance? Because I couldn't really tell. But it, after seeing the ability come up again, there, that was definitely the dark stance. So it's
And
probably good to trust the Hellmane anyway.
and right mids will go to the Underworld, and that Hell getting a nice lead here early, potentially going to be able to take over this game like Neptune did during week 1, but we will have to see. And a gank coming out here on the right lane, Tyron and Wizard trying to lock down
Trying to lock the baby down, but can't put baby in the corner. And now, Epic Wizard being hunted down. Odin going back in to save his jungler and does manage to get Epic Wizard out of danger.
And Sleeping Kaynade will back off of this. Just a lot of fighting, and neither team really getting the pick. But it does look like Kaynade is going to try and steal the blue out from under Epic Wizard here.
As Epic Wizard is able to secure it for his solo laner, Tyron coming in. But
Tyron will take the blue and just go back to lane. However, we see a rotation coming out of Neptune.
Neptune very much able to get the damage down.
He will be able to jump out regardless. But looking for a return invade on the enemy blue, trying to even things out. And Sleepy making this rotation here.
Tyron, Neptune both in this fight right now. And it looks like Timbo twice is going to come over, but nothing doing as both sides back off.
Like, the Vibe Tribe squad did secure their blue there. That is a big chunk of XP that they're keeping to themselves and keeping that blue on that Vamana, on Sleepy's Vamana. That will help so much since Vamana is such a mana-hungry god.
I think we can finally talk about Kanade's gank over here in duo, maybe, but again, just he missed the ability and said, "I'm not going to overcommit. I'm not going to give up, farm to these two that already got a little bit ahead."
He hit the ability on the emoji, but not doing all that much damage in this early game, and seeing that he did not have his Athena or his Olorun out of Guardian Wolf or Jolly Green, there wasn't much kill potential there. And so he had backed off early. And it looks like Tyron is going to get poked out by Sleepy and going to have to hit the good old back and teleport back in.
Sleepy also having the green buff instead of the blue buff right now. His mana consumption very high. When did he rotate over to get that? For that matter.
I did not see that. That's really strange seeing him with... Like, if you look at the character model, I think that might be a bug on the spectator, as he definitely has the blue buff around his belt.
That's blue and silver buffs right there. So yeah, that looks like a spectator bug. My apologies there.
And
Olorun having to back out with very low health.
And Wizard chasing down. And with that ult, Cleodna's
Kinda,
ult having such
Kanade
massive
looking for a
range.
chase, but nothing doing as Soul is able to get into her disapparate.
Both teams playing the Underworld playing a little aggressive when they get the chance, but for the most part, both teams are still playing extremely safe as it's still in this early game, giving Neptune chance to farm, giving Timbo chance to farm, and right now Neptune does have a level up on Timbo.
Kanade, though, looking to do something about that as he rotates over to this mid lane, but a lot of poke going out onto him, and he gets knocked out of the horse not once but twice.
And Vibe Tribe gonna pick up those right mids and get out before Cleodna, Hell, and that Umoja can rotate in. And Sleepy is gonna be able to get his blue again.
As we look at advantages toward the bottom of the screen there, we can look, and jungle is ahead, but jungle, ADC, support, and mid look to have slight leads, but solo is quite a bit behind.
Yes,
And the
and
Odin cage comes down.
Colossus is gonna get out of the cage. It will walk right out. It is gonna try and fight.
Able to chase
Tyron
down the Odin with an Athena ult. Defender of
and
Olympus.
Tyron's gonna get out. Thinking there that a little bit of a misstep, trying showing on the rest of the team with that Athena coming in, knowing that Tyron on that own would just be able to run away, but able to survive a massive gank is Sleepy. Can never complain or fault that. Staying in the game and pushing out your solo laner at the same time, that's a good defense to a gank if I've ever seen one.
It's a good defense to a gank. However, I don't know if I like the dropping of two major ults there. Defender of Olympus and Colossus
And
going on
Death
cooldown.
the King soloing Guardian Wolf Soul in duo lane here. He had him low. Looks like he does pick up the kill there. Is going to pick up those Bastions and the free 75 gold for each of them.
Soul, just in my opinion, is cleanly the best mage ADC right now. That passive is way too much to deal with until late game. And with her too, even if she doesn't kill you outright, she can reach you from quite a ways away.
When it comes to these mage ADCs, the strongest ones are definitely Freya and Soul. Soul due to her very strong early game, and Freya due to her incredibly strong late game. The one that I like to see is this Olorun as well, due to his insane team fight. Each one of these mage HCCs have their own thing, and it looks like Underworld is going to be targeting him down, and is going to take out Jolly Green, being a little bit overextended out his team. 3 of them collapse on him, and another kill going to this Underworld squad.
As a support myself, I can definitely say that is a spot where you wouldn't normally think you're out of place, but Underworld taking advantage of their positioning around the map to make sure this Athena goes down.
And
Hell
with
making
that,
her way.
Underworld will use the Umoja and will secure Gold Fury here.
Sleepy and Tyrion fighting again for a moment over there in the solo lane. The Tyron gonna go ahead and take this totem.
Totem is worth 25 gold for the entire team and helps with mana. Always a great thing to pick up.
Absolutely. Hell sitting here alone in the mid lane and also fighting away that taunt and that Agni Bomb.
And it looks like Death the King is returning back to lane. Is kind of looking after this Garden Wolf Soul. And over there in duo is going to make him back up a little bit. Having 2 levels on him.
If you're the level 8 soul here, you want to fight. You want to push this Olorun. And Guardian's just...
An Epic Wizard taking out Kaynade on this Lance. A great pick over here in the solo lane. And it looks like the Underworld is trying to look for more. Tyron trying to run down Sleepy, but it looks like Epic will take the cooldown silver buff and leave.
It looks like Vibe Tribe are trying to take back some of this early game when really they need to be focusing on trying to farm up. They're well behind, and most, if not every area.
And Tyron dropping to a quarter health from Sleepy while Underworld will start up this Pyromancer, will more than likely get it for free. The only one able to contest is Jolly Green, but he will not make it there in time. And Pyro will go to Underworld, extending this gold lead to about 2.5K right now.
Little
2.7.
over, it's 2.7. That's and we're
And
talking a 3K gold lead ish at 11 minutes. That's pretty big.
as well
Vibe
as a
Tribe
3K experience lead.
Vibe
They
Tribe
can
really,
definitely turn on the Jets here going forward. And it looks like a pause is coming out here.
as we possibly have a bit of a computer issue, Tempo twice disconnecting here for a moment. So
More than likely, they're resetting, trying to get that fixed up, get him back in this game so they continue. Not sure if it's he was lagging or if he disconnected, but hopefully he can get back in this game and we can continue it. So far, this game is looking very one-sided. 6 kills for Underworld, 0 for Vibe Tribe with that nearly 3K gold lead.
I
If they
wouldn't
can
have
continue
thought.
to
Go
push
ahead.
this lead and continue to put pressure on this Vibe Tribe squad, they will be able to continue to extend this lead.
I didn't think Vibe Tribe had that weak of an early game. In fact, I would have thought, especially, I wouldn't have thought they'd have a strong early game in mid. I wouldn't have thought they would have a great early game in solo. I know that Odin likes to hit 5 before he does a lot of stuff. So I thought that Vibe Tribe would have had a bit of a better early game than this, but they need to regroup. That's what needs to happen here. Vibe Tribe needs to regroup and hit the reset button.
I think that Underworld did better in our draft than we originally analyzed because you got to think that Cleodna and Soul are both very early game gods while also having late game capabilities on this Odin, on this Hell, on this Yamoja. Even Yamoja having great early game CC due to Yomi and her passive being able
Oh,
to spam
absolutely.
abilities better than any other support. So
And
in doing so,
it's
they
worth
have
mentioning for Yamoja. Sorry. Yamoja has that 20% conversion. Anything to do with mana, 20% is converted to health. That MP5, that's also 2 HP5 that the other support doesn't get. So
and
Yamoja able to stay out sustained as compared to this Athena.
yes, and as well what they have done on this draft is they have early game gods like this Cleodna, like this Soul, and this Yum that is strong all game, but they also have their late game carry in this Hell, making it where they have a little bit of early game, they have late game potential, and pause will finally be freed. And right now, Wizard gonna go ahead and drop Tyrant's
Drop
Blue
his,
for him.
yep.
And it looks like a
Pulling over
three-man gang
here.
coming in over here on Sleepy. Cleodna dashes in. Vamana gonna dash out. Ooh, Umoja hitting the stun,
He's
but
gonna get the stun down, but no
Odin
additional
choking
follow
with the
up to
stun as
speak of.
well. But it looks like Sleepy will slip out again. Sleepy managing to avoid all of these ganks and will not go down, doing a great job of surviving even when he's getting rotated on by 3.
And not to mention doing a good job of farming, so far has outfarmed Odin, even though Odin does have some assist gold in his pocket.
In doing so, both teams are what Vibe Tribe really needs to do here is group up, needs to fight as a team, and try and shut down this Cleodna or this Soul. Get some gold flowing, get some levels, and try and get back in this game.
If we're going to talk about shutdowns, then we really need to talk about this Cleodna. If they can catch this Cleodna out and get her killed, as long as the gold goes over onto, let's say, the Agni or hell, really, if it goes on, if the shutdown can get to Oleron, that gets Oleron back in this game. And I think
Exactly.
that's their carry potential right now is this Oleron.
Yeah, with that Olorun having the old and having so much CC built into that kit and so much power late game with his passive, with every little bit of power he gets, getting more and more chances to crit your opponents on a magical ADC is being so huge. And Underworld
Kimbo
starting
twice, Vibe Tribe moving in. They're
and
going to get the
Underworld taking
support
down-
here. But Underworld getting the Gold Fury. Fight still going on. But now both teams back off. Underworld are going to trade their support for the Gold Fury.
which is and Underworld managing to get that Gold Fury, continue that gold lead, will lose the support, but even in this game, that is a good trade for them because that support is worth a lot less than gold is.
Support's worth not just a lot less than gold, but the support, even while dead, is still getting some of that gold thanks to that Gold Fury. So that is a play that I know I'd love to be on the part of if I were either of these supports.
And with Soul and Death taking this tower, that gold difference will spike up to 4,000 at this point. Underworld's starting to run away with this game a little bit, and gold and XP. Vibe Tribe needs to get down to the nitty gritty, farm, and get some picks over here on that duo side.
Honestly, Sleepy has the lane advantage into Tyron right now. And either they need to get a pick on Tyron, put him further behind before Sleepy leaves, or Sleepy needs to just leave and go help his team. This is the point in the game where you take whatever advantage you do have and you shove it. And in the case of Vibe Tribe, Sleepy is their advantage currently.
Yeah, I'd love to see this from Ana.
Ganade is trying to get in there, but he's got to get out.
And big damage coming out of Neptune, even with 2 defense items, having that Lotus Sickle to give you cooldown, give you those prods, and give you extra mana, give extra physical and magical defense. And Vibe Tribe will actually steal the Pyro!
Vibe Tribe indeed stealing the Pyro away from Underworld, but nothing else going to come up. Vibe Tribe going to get in, get out cleanly. That's exactly what you want to see for them right now, as they are behind, but starting to pull this game back their way, hopefully.
Although, does not look like anyone's going to pick up the bomb, but Jolly Green will walk away from the Pyro Bomb. Not picking that up there.
Interesting decision, if I say so myself.
And looks like it did expire there.
And Defender of Olympus going down
and
alongside
Sanctified
Oleron.
Field as well.
And Neptune Spartan and Beast coming in, trying to get this Oleron, and it looks like they're going to get him.
And we got a rotation
coming in behind as well.
Big damage coming out.
Soul throwing autos. Is she gonna get him? No, Epic Wizard will get
taking down Oleron.
And Neptune Spartan gonna clean up Jolly Green alongside him. 2 kills going the way of the Underworld.
Underworld continuing to apply pressure, even though they lost Pyromancer, giving Vibe Tribe a little bit gold, trying to get them back in the game. Are going to continue to press that level advantage, and will take down this tower on left and set up for gold here since it's about to respawn.
Gold is about to respawn for sure, but I don't know. Do you go for fire here? As far ahead as the Underworld are.
Without wards, and I think it'd be real struggle for them to do fire right now. As well as Vibe Tribe having it word, so having the potential to steal that, using those Agni Bombs, using that Sanctified Field out of this Oleron. I don't think that going for fire is here unless you can get another set of picks, or you can get it worded to know that it's free.
That's fair.
But I like the idea here, just kind of back off, kind of regroup, kind of let things settle in for a moment. And kind of reset, and it looks like there's a fight going on here in solo.
Ganade wanting a piece of
trying to get this tier 1 tower.
Neptune
And
Spartan
Neptune
unable
getting
to get
haunted.
the healing stance 1 down on Khanade,
And
but
Kane
able to poke
will
out
take a
Khanade.
lot of damage and get poked out by this Hell, who right now only has one power item in this Book of Thove. Using the Breastplate of Rejuvenation to really get some movement speed in every time she heals herself every 10 seconds is gonna and give her a little bit of a power spike.
But Neptune
Tear the
Spartan,
Veil coming out.
grouped on by 4, is able to get out thanks to that Breastplate of Regrowth. The speed on that unmatched alongside the
Rivers
speed
Rebuke
from her
will come out,
ability
not catch
itself.
anyone.
Underworld really want to take this fight here in mid, but they're also going to back off as 5.
And they
It
will
looks like
go
they're
to
going to
this
go
Gold
grab this
Fury
Gold
here.
Fury. All full health again.
And
With
this
Emoja
5
and
tribe
Hell, that's a
squad,
lot of
2 of them
healing.
at half health, still looking to steal the cage coming
Sleepy
out,
with the
locking Sleepy in
Sleepy's ult
without his ult,
down.
and
Epic Wizard.
getting disintegrated by this Olaroon, and Gold Fury will go to Underworld, but 1 down on.
That, I don't think that trade is worth for Underworld. Losing your
they're still
jungle
fighting.
for the Gold
And
Fury.
Death will
Now
take
it's
up
worth
Payday.
it.
And now they're chasing him down. Athena will dash out, and Sleepy on this Vamana in between the entire team getting attacked, and Neptune getting taken out by Timbo twice. Going a little bit too heavy, trying to get those picks, doing a lot of damage, but running in 3v1 is going to get mopped up there.
That was not the way you want to see that go if you're Underworld. You're playing it so clean, so well. Everything's just going where you need it to go, and then you drop your mid laner, you drop your jungle, you pick up the Gold Fury, and you do get 1 on the other end, maybe 2.
And
Guardian
Death
Wolf Soul again.
and taking out Guardian Wolf Soul is going to put Death on this Soul to a 4-0.
Well, that puts more shutdown gold on the board if you're Vibe Tribe. Go shut down the Soul.
Playing very well together, and even playing very well alone during this game. A couple of solos coming out, as well as constantly grouping as 5. Doing very well so far this game. Looks like this Owen's trying to zone out Sleepy and the rest of this Vibe Tribe squad while Underworld is trying to pull Pyro here.
Tyrion really wanting to go in by the look of it too. You can tell from his positioning, he wanted to jump that wall.
Yeah, but if he jumps that wall without the rest of his team, he will get blown up by this Agni, get blown up by this Olaroon and Lancelot. And Sleepy doing strong damage. Tear the Veil will come out, and Rivers Rebuke as well.
Rivers Rebuke making sure that that Vibe Tribe can't get in there, and just making sure that the Pyro there is going to be free.
Yeah, but that's half of Cleodna's ults, and Rivers Rebuke down out of this Umoja. I'm not sure if they needed all of them, but are going to use them anyways. This lead of Underworld with that big shutdowns of Epic Wizard on this Cleo and the kill on Neptune, even with this Pyro, it's still staying about 4,000 gold.
Absolutely, though it's worth mentioning that if my math is correct, the gold lead would have dipped back down to about 3K from 4K after everything that happened over at the Gold Fury. So, no, my math is wrong. Oh, that's right. It went back down to 4K from 5K. That's why it's wrong.
Looks like this Underworld squad getting the team together. Tyron trying to zone, try and get some abilities out, trying to see what's up. Arca is trying to set
Sleepy
up
is
for
able
here.
to outdish Sleepy a little bit here. And again, this
like
healing
Underworld
from
is gonna
Umoja
start
and from
running
Hell
down.
really showing up.
And
Air the Veil,
Sleepy
Sleepy,
going
the
for a big
Colossus
ult.
coming
Defender
out.
of Olympus coming in. trying to run down the soul of death.
And
Is going
Death
to
the
take out
King
Kane,
going
taking
to
out
fall.
Timbo taking out Epic Wizard. Vibe Tribe turning this around, taking out 2. Rivers Rebuke trying to lock them out, keep them off of this soul. And Vibe Tribe still trying to run it down, trying to lock down this Odin. Taunt coming out just a little bit late. Is going to get the jump. Tyrant at a quarter HP. D's at half, and this hell of Neptune is still full, but it looks like that Vibe Tribe has a opportunity. Getting 2 picks is going to start here and start up this Fire Giant.
Fire Giant, probably the right call here. At the minimum, you want to tempt your or force your opponent back in, which they do here. Underworld coming up to make a play. The Tyrant too low to frontline at all.
Sleepy
Neptune
is on
Spartan.
top of Neptune, but it's going to
Sleepy
leave
on
him.
top of Neptune here, but Yamoja should be able to get away. Indeed, Yamoja does get away. This Hell and this Yamoja just going to heal back up and put pressure down again. You have to pick off one or the other. Really, you have to pick off Hell.
And with that Riptide, is going to keep herself safe, portaling out and slowing down the rest of that Vibe Tribe squad. And now they're back to full 5. The only weak link right now is this Umoja at half health, but Vibe Tribe, 2 people having to back at half health themselves. Vibe Tribe all backing. If Underworld is able to pick this up and realize that the entire team of Vibe Tribe just back, they can start up this Fire Giant and get it right here. Are going to Sentry Ward it, going to clear off all the wards. But
very much a possibility. But they took a little bit too long clearing off those wards. Looks like they decided they want to set up for a fight on fire, not a Fire Giant itself.
Interesting
but
choice.
Timbo twice rolling over to the Gold Fury pit is going to ward that as his team is collapsed on by Underworld. Neptune Spartan taking out Kanade.
Coming out.
What a big Colossus coming down. Yamoja. Sleepy getting low in the back line. And Death the King also very low in that back line of Underworld. But the fight going to break up. One dropped on each side. Kanade for Dees. And if you're the Yamoja here, you take that trade all day. Your life for the jungler, absolutely worth.
And with this Underworld, with the healing of this Hell, it will
to take the Pyromancer here in another fight on the other side of that. Never mind.
If we look at these consumables right now, Underworld has 3 Pyromancer bombs, 2 on Odin in Tyrant's hands, and 1 in D's of this Yamoja, having 3 bombs. Whenever they start sieging, those towers, those phoenixes will disappear.
Absolutely. Now, Timbo twice is going to have something to say about that because he can keep the waves out, but in 3.5 minutes now, you're looking at enhanced fire.
And you'll see here that Underworld, with all 3 of their carries on Gold
Beast is getting
map,
caught out over here by the Fire Giant.
is going to
back off,
take up a Gold Fury, and that was the Gold Fury that gives you extra damage, extra power to structures and objectives, meaning that the Underworld team will have more damage on this Fire Giant.
Dees almost overstaying his welcome there as Vibe Tribe has to deal with a portal and can't really get to him.
It looks like both teams doing the Fire Giant dance. Both teams looking for an opening, looking for some poke. Sleepy going to get poked a little bit. Is going to have that contagion proc. Pestering the backline and pestering and poking this Hell and the rest of the team. But it looks like they are going to start and pick up this Fire Giant, or at least try and bait it out. Trying to bait this Vibe Tribe team in.
Underworld definitely baiting it, and Tyrant going in on the ADC, going in on the Athena. Epic Wizard going down. Death the King picking up Guardian of Soul Return. Timbo twice getting these. 3 down for the Underworld. Neptune Spartan falls. Death the King falling to Kanade. 4-2 for Vibe Tribe as they start up the Fire Giant.
And now this team picking up the Fire Giant, having their jungler, having their solo, and having their mage, are going to have a decent amount of damage, but they're going to be doing this slow, not having their ADC here. And with this, Sleepy getting poked
Sleepy
out.
is getting
Tyrant
out.
trying
Timbo
to play
twice,
spoiler,
once.
almost taking out Timbo Slice. Barely living, almost getting taken out by the Fire Giant. But it looks
Kanade
like
chasing down Tyron though. And it looks like Kanade is going to get stunned out here. Defender of Olympus out. Defender of Olympus picking up the kill.
And the big splat coming out of Defender of Olympus will make Tyron have to go back to base the hard way. Vibe Tribe getting back in this game, knocking that gold lead down to around 3,000 at this point, and have the XP advantage at this point, farming a bit better than the team of Underworld.
Underworld has been spending a lot of this mid game looking for fights, so it's not a horrible surprise to me that Vibe Tribe, who decided we're gonna farm up, is now ahead in XP. Neptune Spartan returning to mid, getting some more gold. Though itemization is the tail right now if you're the Underworld. 3 different players with big itemization leads. As Underworld pick up the Fire Giant here, already have it down to half. Vibe Tribe is going to have to look at this at some point. 2 players knocked up with a Fire Giant. Kanade in the back line on top of Epic Wizard. Epic Wizard at 1% of their health is going to be running away.
Fire Giant goes to Underworld.
Timbo twice able to get Epic Wizard.
Tyrant takes down Sleepy. The Defender of Olympus coming out. Big taunt. And it looks like they're Timbo twice raining down those Agni Bombs. He's going to try and chase down Neptune on this L. Dash coming out. Sanctified Field and Neptune will go down. Tyrant going down to Gated. And Yamoja. D's trying to get away. Getting chased by 4 under this tower. A little bit of hesitation there. Out of this Vibe Tribe squad after picking up 3. Had a chance to take out D's there, but let him slip away.
They want the tower.
And D's circling back around is going to get targeted out here by Kanade and the rest of this Vibe Tribe squad. Using Riptides is going to be able to manage to get out and get over to death on the soul. 2 people left with Fire Giant. 3 kills go to Vibe Tribe. 1 to Underworld. Underworld got fire, but only 2 remain with it.
That is not a worthwhile trade for Fire Giant if you're the Underworld, and the gold really does start to show that because gold lead now down to about 1.2 thousand.
And also Vibe Tribe is going to pick up this Pyro, is going to drag that gold difference down to almost even only a 500 difference, but that XP difference. Let's talk about that. There is
that
a
XP difference becoming massive
at this point.
Solo lane 2 levels ahead. Everyone else is 20, so it doesn't matter. But right now, you're looking at the front line of the Underworld. They are not as tanky as they want to be. Even this Odin, who's nearly full built, even compared to this Ramada, not as tanky as they want to be. But ults are dropping, and Neptune Spartan going down to Kanade. Epic Wizard returning on the Guardian Wolf's soul.
Grand Joust coming out is going to try and get some damage in on Epic Wizard. And Death is going to take out Jolly Green in this backline. Fight's still going crazy.
Alongside
Epic
Sleepy.
Will take out Sleepy. 3-1 going in the way of Underworld here.
Now, the question if you're Underworld is it worthwhile to trade your mid for them? But
mid for 3, that's a good trade, especially since the 2 people on your team that have Fire Giant still have it. And you're able to push these towers with the pressure of this soul, having your ADC still up, actually having the ability to take these towers here, especially since they have the ADC up. And Timbo is going to dash out.
Going to get the Phoenix here for sure.
Going to get stunned. Is going to Beats and Aegis there. Both will go down.
Underworld not going to go in and break the Titan, especially with those 2 towers up. Just going to back out.
But that's a mid Phoenix down that will make this next Fire Giant fight much easier for this Underworld squad since they have a lane with fire minion pressure if they do not pay attention to it. Is obviously not as strong as having that left side, that duo side pressure, but it will help in the end. And they're gonna pick up another Gold Fury and try and extend back out that gold lead.
One thing worth bringing up, this Athena has not been doing a very good job stacking her prophetic cloak. Only 24 stacks at 33 minutes into the game. Yamoja, on the other hand, however, already done with her prophetic cloak, getting those mitigations out from that item.
And
So
Athena having to get in close range with the taunt with her shield wall, it makes it really hard for her to build this unless she is actively trying to do this. So Jolly Green will not have those extra mitigations and some extra protections from that prophetic cloak going into these extra fights. And Nemoja's already built her starter item, has the compassion online, and I feel like Jolly Green may have forgotten about it since you can pick up those support starter items as soon as level 15.
I feel like maybe Jolly Green made the trade of not getting the starter item in order to get Pridwin, but I don't know if I agree with that.
Tyron getting to the backlines, and the cage coming out is going to lock in all the carries of this Vibe Tribe squad. Kane trying to make a difference, trying to poke out this hell, poke out Neptune. Is going to do a little bit, but
Epic
Sleepy
Wizard
almost
able
going
to
down
get
to
away.
Epic Wizard.
Sleepy able to somehow magically get away from Epic Wizard without dying.
Umbrella
However,
Ring is going to
Underworld,
get that knockup and get himself out. And Kaneade sneaking in with a
Underworld,
teleportation. Kaneade will get blown up here, but we have Sleepy in the backline teleporting in. Underworld will confirm the Fire Giant, and Sleepy going ham, trying to take him out, but is going to get focused back down by Death.
Timbo
And get
twice
taken out.
collecting Epic Wizard in their backline, however, in trade. However, you're looking at Timbo Twice and Jolly Green essentially against the world here right now. Vibe Tribe really on the back foot. We're
And
looking
with
at
it-
Phoenix being that last stand.
And with this Neptune, Death, Deez, and Tyrant all have enhanced Fire Giant, making their healing so much stronger, making their power and their just making them an absolute hassle to deal with. And Tyrant immediately trying to get to backline, and Timbo twice barely
Jolly
getting
Green
out.
caught out by the
Is going to
cage.
collapse
Going to
on
get
Jolly
melted
Green, and he
inside
will
the
be
cage.
taken down. And Vibe Tribe here looking to end the game. Death autoing the Titan, and Neptune trying to use all his ability. Grand Joust, Rivers Rebuke, Supernova, Timbo twice at 1 HP, but Underworld will take it, taking the set's first game and starting off strong, going 1-0.
Underworld going to be going up 1-0 in this game. And while Neptune Spartan did not have to carry it, it was just a good team game out of Underworld. You can see Neptune Spartan 5-4-8 definitely did not have to carry that game.
Looked like a good teamwork coming out of that game. Let's talk about these stats. Timbo twice, 6-0, 7 assists, near 43,000 damage on the
Can't ask
losing
for
squad.
Cannot ask for anything more out of your mid laner here. Honestly, I feel like the Athena was a little bit lacking in impact. There were more than this Athena's fair share of taunts that were short or did not hit for one reason or another. You have to be hitting those. That's it. That's most of Athena's impact is in confound.
And
And
the adjustment that this Vibe Tribe team needs to make is they need to keep Guardian Wolf Soul safe. He was getting ran down throughout the mid game. He was able to get put so far behind this soul and be kept behind. They need to make the adjustment and get him into the game.
when
If
you
they
see
can do
slash
that,
lines in competitive games like this, like 1, 8, and 11, That's not necessarily all on that player. That's usually the team as a whole, especially when it's your carries, the guys you're supposed to be protecting. I know that when I'm playing support and I see 1, 8, and 11 on my ADC, I look at them and I say, no, 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 no. Don't blame yourself. That's on me. We're correcting that.
In the same token, there was several times during that mid game where Death was able to solo him. And I
Oh,
understand with the
absolutely.
ability for Supernova to come out, giving her CC immunity and actually be able to fight inside that Oleron ult makes it a real struggle for Oleron to do anything once he's gotten behind. But it, you know, it's adjustments that will need to be made. Try and keep him safer, and also, can we just point out that even the having that Phantom Shell, due to the cooldowns that this Odin had, even only at 30% cooldown, is able to just keep putting the cage up, keep trapping in that backline constantly, and
Absolutely.
doing so without that Phantom Shell being up, Olaroon and Timbo and like the rest of the team kept getting trapped in it and weren't able to really fight inside those Owen cages, making a big factor in some of those fights. Since Olaroon is one of those gods that really likes his lifesteal items and really likes to fight in a big manner. So getting trapped in those cages and being able to get thrown at and just be trapped in with soul abilities, with Hell, with Cleodna and Yamoja throwing in everything at him, it's rough. It's difficult to you know fight against that, and that's just a good counter pick late game by Tyron. That was a great counter pick in the late game of the draft to really fight against this five tribe squad.
Despite all his rage, Tyron was still just a rat in a cage.
Oh, you've been waiting all day for that, haven't you?
I was waiting all game for that. Absolutely.
But definitely the work needs to be done. Gonna point out that Jolly Green never did get his prophetic cloak stacked. That is something that needs to be fixed. That is something that you need because it's just how strong prophetic is right now with the mitigations, with the extra prots. It's
Look at the difference in damage mitigated between this Yamoja and this Athena, and it really does start to tell a story. This Yamoja was able to go into everything, did not have to care what her positioning was because she just didn't take damage. Not to mention a grand total of 26,934 healing to almost 2K. These health bars out of the Underworld just did not deplete. They did not disappear, especially late game, and it showed.
and one of the stat lines you won't be able to see here is also all the times that Def the King was using, Soul's ability to heal, healing a 25% of your current missing health. That's not something that you will see here, but it is something that is to be noted. And, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We're going to be moving on and waiting for game two to start up. And we will hope to see you all there. It was a close game coming out of that second half of it. And Vibe Tribe really fought like crazy to try and get back in that game and nearly did it. And
Vibe Tribe simply falling just a little bit short.
anyway,
Caged off, if you will.
with that, we'll see y'all in game two.
Don't search for me, cause I'm going AWOL. In my heart there's a hole, yeah. And in my head there's a demon I can't take control. I've took too much, locked myself in a room, just my six and myself, yeah. It's getting hard and I think I'm doomed. Cause everyone left. Cause everyone left. Cause everyone left. Cause everyone left. Cause everyone Don't search for me, cause I'm going AWOL. In my heart there's a hole, yeah. And in my head there's a demon I can't take control. I took too much, locked myself in a room, just my six and myself, yeah. It's getting hard and I think I'm doomed. Cause everyone left.
Hello, everyone, and we're back. We're jumping into game 2 of this set of our Lancelot Division 5 Tribe versus Underworld. And that game 1 did go to Underworld, and Vibe Tribe immediately banning out that Finra.
Absolutely. That Fenrir showed up early, showed up often
But
when it didn't show
Finra,
up.
Finra not being last game, but being a very strong meta pick right now, um, with all the buffs that he's been getting, is going to see the ban. And Underworld is going to get rid of the Alquang, also being another strong pick.
Cleodna, however, definitely getting banned from the Underworld.
Yeah, that Cleodna out of Epic Wizard doing a lot of work last game, being very strong, having a lot of pressure and surprise gank potential through the early game, is going to get a respect ban out. While
And
Underworld,
Kukulin getting banned as well.
probably the best solo laner in the game right now, is going to get banned out. Neither team really wanting to see this. Definitely Underworld not getting rid of it.
Well, I mean, it's a top ban against Vibe Tribe for a reason. So, Soul
A-
getting banned away from the Underworld. Yet again, another respect ban. This time on Death the King.
And Def the King did do the best out of this Underworld squad and on that soul, doing putting up big numbers, doing very well in the fight, staying very safe with Desapare and using Supernova effectively. Going 8-2 last game is going to see it banned out, and I cannot say I blame Vibe Tribe for that, considering just how strong magical ADCs are in general right now. And Hobwalk getting banned out, and a Maui coming out for Vibe Tribe, and Underworld looking back to run back their mid and ADC with this Helen Olorun. Well, picking
Certainly,
up the
and
Olorun this time instead of the Soul being banned this time.
Maui, from what I remembered, one of Jolly Green's better picks. If Jolly Green can do what he's been doing on this Maui, Vibe Tribe should be in good shape. And then Hell and Olorun. That was a very good comp last time for the Hell. Olorun almost makes it just better.
And a Freya Guan Yu coming out. The front line for Vibe Tribe looking very strong, packed with the best late game mage ADC that can honestly solo anyone if left alone. Is and has the ability to use her ult to get out of the Olin ult a good counter pick into the team so far.
Absolutely. Freya very much able to punish grouping as well with her second ability. I forget what it's called offhand. But her second ability, turning those melee autos into ranged AoE autos, allowing her to punish grouping quite handedly. And then
Yeah,
Ymir,
Ymir with the big walls coming down is going to be good. Not having really any jumps besides the Maui so far for that Vibe Tribe squad is going to be able to yell and scream, Ymir is here.
absolutely able to do that. The freeze as well. Can't underestimate that long stun. And of course, big damage from that ult can't be underestimated. Yu Huang is the fourth ban for the Underworld, followed quickly by a respect ban onto that Odin. Do not want to see that come back again. And then quickly with the Thor ban.
And I cannot blame this Vibe Tribe banning out the Odin, considering that they have the same issues on this Freya, on this Guan Yu, being forced to either ult out on that Freya or be trapped in the cage.
Absolutely. Vibe
And
Tribe waiting on that last ban so far.
but Pulse and Irradiate, the two great abilities comboed on this Freya. Pulse making those ranged autos and making them AoE. Irradiate giving them the amped power but single target will be something that you will see often in this game because it's a Freya. What do you expect? But
Pele, the last ban out of Vibe Tribe.
a interesting ban. But I can see understand the Pele not wanting too much lifesteal life gain coming out of this Underworld squad again, but will pick up a Tsukuyomi.
Tsukiyomi, I feel like, is a good pick into Freya. He can chase Freya into her ultimate if he gets his ultimate off first and hits her even once. So Freya going to have to be very quick on the draw to avoid the Tsukiyomi.
Either be able to get into her ult very quickly or be able to Aegis quickly since if you can Aegis all ticks of the Tsukiyomi ult, he will not come after you and will not go to you.
You do have to take damage from it. I forgot about that portion of it. Agni bombs from Vibe Tribe yet again, so both mid laners want to run it back here.
And Timbo doing such a great game on this Agni, hitting the Rainfires, getting using the Path of Flames so well, avoiding so many of the Odin cages. I have to give
And
the man
the
props. I can understand why he wants to run it back after a great game one on it. Very
and the
unfortunate that
Thanatos coming out here. If I do apologize. What do you think about the Thanatos though?
Thanatos is really strong in the meta right now. Hovering Death being one of the best abilities in the game, always, because getting a execute on someone, even when they have plenty of health to left, going upwards is potentially 40% of their health left on those tanks can drastically change a fight.
For
And
the
having
sake
such
of
early game pressure to counteract this Freya that is all their late game pressure, I really like the pick here.
for the sake of numbers, I mean 40% of a tank's health can still be almost 2000 health. So I can have 15, 1600 health and still be an execute threshold. That's terrifying. That is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, the reason that Thanatos is so strong, and you know that as the game goes on, that ult will become stronger, getting
And
more percentage added onto it.
is that a solo lane Ymir, or are we looking at Golden Blade Horus?
That is a good question. We'll have to see where those gods go. A Horus coming out is a flex on where you want this Ymir and where you want this horse to go.
Both gods absolutely able to handle both lanes, though I feel like both gods are a little bit better as supports.
I feel like Ymir has a better chance in the solo lane due to his ability to clear much better than the Horus. However, Horus with damage items, even just a little bit in that mitigations build, I feel like would be better than the Ymir late game.
Ymir late game, I feel like, is going to need all the mitigations he can get because he wants to walk in and not come back out. So the longer he's there, the better. Horus, on the other hand, has a lot of ways to get both in and out of fights very quickly. Because Ymir's going to blink in and stay there. Horus is going to blink in and can 3 out whenever he wants.
Yeah. But for these teams, very different teams coming out of both squads. The only commonality between this game and the last game is those mid laners. The Hell, the Agni staying the exact same, everyone else changing around them.
Absolutely. Which draft do you like in this game?
Uh, it's really going to come down to these late game fights. These are both teams that are designed to go into the late game because hell, Oleron's super strong in the late game. Freya, really, really disgustingly strong in the late game. Also with Agni, who's just consistent and always good. Thanatos with these executes and with the strong early game pressure. Just draft alone, this game can go either way, and it's going to come down fully to play of these teams.
Absolutely. I kind of agree with that. And granted, there's a little bit of bias here, but I like the Horus pick. Got to look out for my main though.
Overall, I think that when it comes down to team fighting, I think that this team, this Underworld team, does have a slightly better team when it comes to the late game team fights. Though having the sanctified fields of Oleron, having the cleanse, having the slow and penetration, and that massive debuff out of this hell, and having two very very solid frontliners that can also for this team and a Tsukiyomi that can definitely get to the backline off this epic wizard. I kind of leaning towards the Underworld's draft just for their team fight potential, since Thanatos typically likes to linger, lurk, and stay back, and only dive backlines if he can get a pick with his ult late game,
One of the
being a
things
much
that
weaker pick into late.
one of the things I'd like to point out here, we're seeing a Horus in the solo lane, and quite simply, if he it you'll know when he's about to rotate by when he takes his ult.
Which I'll be expected to see it relatively early, but not at level 5. And you'll see of that Horus out of Tyrant looking to be the aggressor this game is going to pick up Carapace Shard.
Absolutely. The
But
the amount of poke he's taking here. is to be expected. He doesn't clear very well till he gets that golden blade online. But very
And
much
also,
once he gets that golden blade, once he's able to get those waves under control, going to look to shove that Guan Yu.
and also due to Bluestone being so strong right now, and Guan Yu also having great early game, as well as some great utility late game for his team, and we are seeing a potential rotation over here into the duo lane, and Epic Wizard is going to try and slip in behind Sleepy, and Tyrant is going to knock him up, wait for that dash, and we have the entire 3-man coming in on Sleepy, not wanting to deal with him from last game, take him down to core, and Epic Wizard will get the kill on Sleepy. First blood going the way of Underworld, a big 3-man rotation to the solo lane early.
And another rotation of the duo lane, but it looks like that's going to fall apart. The rotation over to the solo lane, very, very clean out of Epic Wizard and Neptune Spartan. Neptune going in that middle area, and Epic Wizard going from bottom to top. Just very clean, locking out that Guan Yu.
And it looks like Deist and Kaynade trying to fight over the Scorpion to see who can get that protections buff. And it does look like it goes the way of Vibe Tribe there. Kaynade able to take it away from Deist on that Ymir. Now it'd be nice to see that Freya go over there and get it, but Tsukiyomi out of Epic Wizard coming in, and a big hit. Death Scythe, Agni Heat Wave is going to take out Neptune in mid lane, and we're going to duo, and another fight's breaking out, and Deez will take out Guardian Soul after a big stun coming out of Epic Wizard. It's just a trade of mid for for ADC.
Very clean fights in solo, in mid, and in duo right now, each going the way of the ganking team, except for one. Vibe Tribe couldn't really get a good gank out in duo lane a moment ago, but gets successfully ganked in duo just now. So if this trend continues and Underworld is just able to get cleaner ganks in general like that, it's not looking good for Vibe Tribe.
But we're only 4 minutes in. This game can still go either way. And Sleepy able to keep Tyrant around half health, still having the pressure in this lane, even with the death. And Timbo trying to get big poke on Neptune, getting a level up due to the good rotation out of Kaynade. And
this Ymir playing beautifully. That was a great wall. I have to throw that out there.
Freya and the Maui out. Maui would have to jump over the wall, but lose the assistance of his ADC of Guardian Wolf. Being smart not to jump in there, and that protections buff will be picked up by Deez on this Ymir. And the entire Underworld squad is 5 over here in the duo lane, looking for a potential rotation in on Guardian and Jelly Green, but will wind up leaving it as Tsukiyomi is going to come into their back jungle and start taking their XP camps in their farm. Epic Wizard doing a great job with what he has, but as you mentioned,
invading that back line, that other back XP camp, or not invading, but taking the other XP camp.
And you'll notice here that this Thanatos out of Kaynade actually has a slight level lead on Epic Wizard here through the early game, even though Epic Wizard has 1 kill and an assist to Kaynade's only 1 assist.
It's because the Thanatos here, Kaynade, he's really focusing on farming, whereas Epic Wizard is focused on fighting.
And it's coming back to bite him a little bit, killing him behind, and a rotation coming in on solo side. Tsukiyomi, big knockup from the Horus, and Tsukiyomi using the piercing moonlight is going to chase Sleepy under the tower and take him out. One more tower shot would have taken him out, but not going to come in. Epic Wizard and Tyrant, low HP, are going to slip away since that Thanatos of Kainade is all the way over on Duo's side of the jungle.
Great ultimate there out of Tsukiyomi. Guan trying to dodge those beams, but not quite out of range, not quite far enough away. And what respectable solo laner is going to take Aegis? He goes down.
Now, looks like a little bit of a dance here in mid. Maui hopping over the wall, rejoining his Agni to clear this wave.
Absolutely. And so far, we do have a little bit of a golden XP difference, 1,000 gold, 1,500 XP. And most of those differentials coming in the duo lane for this team.
Sanctified Fields coming out, but Call of the Valkyries is going to get the Freya out. Valkyrie's discretion is going to get her out. And Kainade with the Hovering Death going to take out Tyrant, but he has to face down two. And they're trapping in Maui. Oh,
he doesn't have to do it alone, though.
And it looks like Kainade will slip out, not able to take him out. The Shards of Ice not doing enough damage, but Landfall keep him safe. And Guardian Wolfsoul, Depth getting a little bit too aggressive, is going to take him out. Pulse Radiate doing such massive damage. Those autos hitting like a truck even early game is going to take him out there. And that's going to even up this game 3-3. And it looks like gold is even.
It's worth reminding everybody, Freya is very reliant on her in-hand damage. 2 different amps for her in-hand. I mean, her other ability outside of her ult doesn't even do damage. It's all in-hand. So if you think you're going to outbox a Freya, you're probably wrong.
Ray of Fire coming down the back line. Ymir Freeze coming through is going to see a lot of poke in on Timbo twice on this Agni. But everyone's going to kind of walk away. No big fight. Nobody dies. Just poking each other like it is. And interesting. So, Michaelis, I want you to tell me about this interesting choice of this Freya for picking up Conduit Gem over Gilded.
So, Conduit Gem is known for giving a lot of good bursts, and if I remember correctly, Conduit Gem does proc on the, not on the 2, but on the 1. So if I remember, it does allow her to get really good burst down out of the 1.
It procs on both because they're still technically abilities and they are modifiers to your autos. But I think it's interesting to see a Freya not going the Gilded Arrow, giving you the extra basic auto attack damage early, instead going for a little bit of burst. Tsukiyomi, Piercing Light, coming down, is going to take out Timbo twice at his own red. I don't think that getting red was worth your life, and Wizard getting another kill is going to wind up leaving now.
It looks like Wizard actually came in there toward Agni clearing his own buff, and just Agni had nowhere to go. Agni's not getting out of there before that Moonlight comes down, and Piercing Moonlight is just going to make sure that Epic Wizard has every single tool at his disposal to take care of the Agni. Thanatos in the air, coming down on Epic Wizard. Just a solid kill. Timbo twice throwing everything over the wall and getting Epic Wizard after the stun.
And with that, Kainade will take the kill, and Kainade 1-0-2 already. 1 kill, 2 assists. Even this game back up, the gold staying about the same. Both teams doing very good at keeping this game close. The only thing difference is XP difference going the way of Vibe Tribe, just farming a little bit more efficiently than this Vibe Tribe
worth
squad.
Pointing out, Timbo twice just got shutdown gold. Epic Wizard was worth shutdown gold at the time. So that's some big money in the pocket of that Agni to catch back up to this Hell with. And Hell looks like going straight down the same build path as last game, going ahead picking up that breastplate of regrowth. Very good item on her, considering that 3 already gives her move speed.
Sanctified Field coming out of Olaroon, but isn't gonna be able to find the Freya.
Or very poor placement, if you ask me. Not affected by nearly enough of that field, and not for nearly long enough. Guardian playing it properly and just continuing to walk away.
And a big damage coming out Epic Wizard, dropping everything but the ult on Kaynade, putting him down to 1 HP, but Kaynade will use Hovering Death get away. Valkyrie's Discretion coming out, and a big auto battle, but Guardian Wolfsoul will take out Death the King.
AoE autos, man. They will win almost every time. So, but Guardian Wolfsoul definitely getting the better end of this fight over here in the duo lane. And it looks like building a demonic grip to further increase that attack speed. I don't know. I feel like the power build plus Nimble Talon just does so much more, but
And Agni going into Book of Thoth and Tablet of Destinies, picking that up. You know, Agni being one of the best gods to build Tablet of Destinies on, able to build it off every single one of his abilities.
and doing it very, very quickly. You get a chance to do it every 2 seconds. And you have what? An Agni Bomb every 12. You have his one every 8, I think, if I remember right. With CDR late game.
You get the
Beads out of
abilities
this
up
Freya.
and
And
Sanctified
Guardian
Field and Piercing Light will take down Guardian Wolfsoul on Freya.
Freya going down here, and this Olarin, not a bad pick at all. I mean, definitely been getting soloed a little bit by this
Freya
Freya,
Fire
but
coming out is going to poke out Neptune on this Hell. Hovering Death will not find the mark. Was a little bit too far away, not fast enough, but he is going to be chasing in. Neptune getting chased down by Kaynade in the back line is going to give him to half. Underworld will take Gold Fury, and a fight coming out. Beads come out of Kaynade, but the Hell is back. Chase him down, Neptune, and Epic Wizard will find the kill onto Kaynade.
definitely a good play over there in that regard. And we got the ult coming out from Sleepy. And the Horus ult away for safety. Horus ult away for safety. Certainly just making sure he doesn't go down there. Piercing Moonlight coming out of the Tsukiyomi, but I don't know how much they're going to get out of that. Sleepy able to dash away, though the Caltrop stopping his retreat. Tyron pulling out the Fracture. Sleepy very low. Neptune Spartan able to claim that kill with a basic. And Guardian Wolfsoul on the other end claiming the life of Death the King. 2-0. Oh. Maybe more.
1-1 going to
Yep, my bad.
each team. And one of the things about that Freya right now compared to this Olaroon is Freya going to ring items is going to have more attack speed. So when she has that pulse, when she has that irradiate up, is going to hit much harder and have more chance to take down this Olaroon who picked up Spear of the Magus and finally just now going into his Bancroft.
And an ult coming out of this Ymir to grab the Pyromancer's Runic Bomb.
A good use of Ice Shards there. Securing the objective, zoning out your opponents of Vibe Tribe is a great way to get some free gold, get the Runic Bomb. and continue to move forward in this game. Now, Kaynade in a spot where he could be focused out here if that Ymir had pushed in, could have had a really good wall there. But
Neptune
Kaynade pushing
Spartan.
in, taking 2 abilities from Neptune and
This
almost losing
Maui
all.
pulling Neptune Spartan back in with the Fisherman's Hook, but the wall going to be off the mark, and the leap away should be enough to ensure that Jolly Green is safe. Kaynade over here healing off that buff. Nothing really doing right now. All lanes just kind of looking to farm. The junglers looking to farm. Little bit of a scrap going on in solo lane, but it's about what you expect. Forest 1, both very, very safe.
And I do want to point out that Underworld, even though this game is close in kills, is 6-7 right now, does have about a 2.5 thousand gold lead and a 2.5 K gold and XP difference right now, getting pretty far ahead of this Vibe Tribe squad at the moment.
Vibe Tribe, they're fighting, they're not farming very well.
One thing that both teams have been doing a little bit rough in these games is farming. Both teams liking to fight, liking to play this game in a very scrappy, messy manner, but farming is where you need to be a lot of the times because that gold will make a difference.
The gold will make a difference, and not to mention the ability to just have more cooldowns or better cooldowns than your opponent does a lot. This Freya having to go into the ult here with 3 of the Underworld chasing her down. Piercing Moonlight out from Tsukiyomi. The stun coming through, but the Fisherman's Hook keeping him away. And Freya is going to live to see another day.
A very close fight there. And even now, Underworld's
still pushing in. That ult from Maui gonna get him killed there. Death the King collecting the kill on Jolly Green. Tyron trying to get into this fight, but a little bit too late. Fracture coming out. And Kaynade gonna go down to Epic Wizard.
And that will be 2-0 in that fight for Underworld. Able to get 2 picks on the jungle, on that support. Kaynade, Jolly Green falling, and it looks now that they're going to be looking for a Gold Fury. And this team of Vibe Tribe cannot contest this. If they do, they will have the chance of being picked off one by one.
Not only can they not, but they will not.
And with that
gold
fight,
lead,
with that gold, extending this lead to 4,000 gold, extending this XP lead to 4,000, a very strong showing by this Underworld squad when they group up and fight as a team.
So you're the one of the two of us here in the Arthur division. What's your opinion on this Maui's build?
I like the Gauntlet Thebes, but I'm really curious as to the lack of Benevolence and Prophetic Cloak being 2 of the strongest items in the game right now, since Benevolence leading into Heroism. Whenever your allies get CC, getting a shield of 15% of your max HP on a cooldown of every 8 seconds. Also, healing your allies and giving you increased gold through the early game. Trying to keep them more afloat, as well as Prophetic Cloak being mitigations and one of the best protection items in the game right now. A reason that's seeing play on both support and solo right now is definitely interesting to see. As for what he's building into in the Stone Tree, I can imagine it's maybe Archmage's Fury or Archdruid's Fury or Sona Binding.
Death the King over here trying to get away from Kaynade, but that... Never mind, he's got Kaynade on the ropes! until this Freya comes back in to help.
Now, one of the things that you
This
may not
Horus,
have noticed
Horus
there,
going up, Horus coming back down, bring his entire team with him to net a kill on Jolly Green.
a good counterfight by Underworld there in mid, using the To the Skies to get in there and get that kill. Now, one of the things you might not have noticed about Guardian Wolf Soul and Kaynade fighting against Death the King left is Guardian Wolf Soul using the Banish actually almost saved Death the King and turned that fight for him by saving him from Kaynade.
Absolutely. And Guardian Wolf Soul able to get the kill on Dees here.
Now, I
As
like
Vibe
the fact that Guardian Wolf Soul is building the rings, getting that demonic grip, getting that cyclopean ring, having that Telkines and haste, and able to just auto, and more auto. Having that,
This entire team out of Vibe Tribe, though, diving into their back line. Freya burning the ultimate. Timbo twice going down to Epic Wizard. And Death the King taking out Kanade. Guardian Wolf Soul returning the kill into Death the King. With Tyron trying to get Guardian Wolf Soul, but falling to the autos from this Freya. Sleepy very low in his own back line. Ymir trying to chase down this Freya. But the Maui with the ult. Piercing Moonlight going through, but only finding the support. Epic Wizard finally walking up and grabbing the kill on this Freya. 4-2. Vibe Tribe with only their tanks left standing.
and a Quadra coming out of Guardian Wolf Soul there. Not taking names, knocking them down, putting Vibe Tribe back in this game, making sure to keep the Underworld at bay there. A very good fight for Vibe Tribe. May have lost, won it, 3-4, but that Freya getting a lot of gold XP, hitting level 20, should be getting her starter iron line. And I want to point out that this Freya does not have Aegis. She cannot immune the Tsukiyomi ults. She picked up Phantom Shell, a way to keep herself safe. Interesting choice of the two shells, considering that the only person that you have to worry about when it comes to these walls is that Ymir. I would have loved to see a fortifying shell out of the two of them, unless they're really that concerned of Sanctified Field plus Ymir wall being a persistent problem for them.
I think that's exactly what it is, because as we talk, though, Piercing Moonlight coming out, and another fight breaking out, and Kanade securing Dees with Hovering Death. 1-0, the support goes down. Vibe Tribe taking the kill so far. The fight continuing to break out in mid. As Maui pulls in the Ola run. Guardian Wolf Soul very low in the back line. Timbo twice falling to Epic Wizard. Guardian Wolf Soul soon to follow. Tyron picking up the ADC.
And To the Skies coming through.
The knock-up. And Death the King, just a clean kill on a Jolly Green. Tyron's entire team following him from the skies.
And a great fight for Underworld, picking up 3, and D's coming back up, are going to try and pick up the Fire Giant here. Only having Kaynade and Sleepy to try and defend this, it's going to be really struggle for this Vibe Tribe squad to try and contest this.
Looks like Kaynade is making his way over to the Fire Giant. Wants to make a play here. The wall from Ymir going to be very good. Piercing Moonlight going in. Piercing Moonlight hitting the Thanatos in the air, is unable to step up and make that play.
And one of the things to point out is with Tsukiyomi ult, with the Piercing Moonlight, it does not matter where your opponents go once they get hit with the first shots. It doesn't matter if they go up in the air. You are going to track them, and you're still going to do damage the whole time. So that Thanatos of Kaynade almost still dying while up in the air of his ult, since 3 shots of that Piercing Moonlight managed to hit him before he went up. A very close call for
Absolutely.
Kaynade. And Fire Giant and Oni Gold Fury going the way of Underworld, spreading this lead out to a 10,000 gold. And right now, they're in the driver's seat. The entire team has Fire Giant. They're and they've been grouping up very well. The biggest concern they need to have is guarding Wolf Soul in this Freya. If they can continue to keep him down and out of these fights, that's where they're going to do their best.
Well,
Already
never say
saw
never.
we already saw that Freya is a concern for this Underworld squad. Getting a Quadra against them,
From
possibly if
behind.
getting the Penta had um they had cooldowns and been able to CC the Tsukiyomi, but
So I've got a bit of a question for you. What is your thoughts on Oleron's build?
I think it's definitely interesting. I think it has a severe lack of rings. In my honest opinion, I think that Cyclopean Ring is by far like one of the best mage ADC items in the game, being so strong, giving you additional 8% of the target's max health on effect. And yeah, it's on a once every 10-second cooldown, but it's reduced every 2 seconds by a successful basic attack on a god. So you're sitting there, you're hitting them with autos, and usually you're gonna have a 2.5 attack speed or
I hate to
two attack
interrupt you
speed.
here, but Underworld making a push on this left tower. They're gonna take it, and they're gonna shove that left-hand Phoenix. That left side very weak right now. Three-man banish from the Freya going in. Sanctified Field going down. Three-man Maliol coming out. Sleepy going in. Guardian Will Soul getting the kill. Kanade going down to Neptune Spartan. As the Underworld take the left side Phoenix and keep on going. Guardian Will Soul down. Epic Wizard in return. And Jolly Green going down to Neptune Spartan. Underworld looking for the Titan. And then leaving the Titan room. They don't have enough damage right now, and they have to back away.
And one of the big things in that fight that we may have missed was the miscommunication between Kaynade and Jolly Green. Jolly Green ulting a few of them out
Sleepy
of
going
Kaynade's ult.
in. Sleepy going in, trying to get out, is going to be tapped by Tyrant on that Horus, but otherwise going to get away.
And with that, both teams will be backing out. And going back to the Olrune's build of Death the King, you know, having a lot of very strong items, having a lot of lifesteal on Telkine's Ring, on Spear Magus, on Typhon's Fang, and Typhon's Fang giving you more power based off the amount of lifesteal you have. All good items and good items for Olorun in old metas. However, with the new meta and how strong the rings are, I would have liked to see a Cyclopean Ring. I would have liked to see a Hasten. I would have liked to see these rings and just to how strong they are on the JDCs right now. All these items are still good, but I feel that they are, you know, closer to a Season 9 build rather than a Season 10 build.
I feel like what you're saying is they're overshadowed. As the Underworld go for the Fire Giant, and Sleepy goes for a major play here. Piercing Moonlight out from Tsukiyomi forces this Guan Yu away. As the Underworld take the Fire Giant 20 seconds before EFG.
And with this, I think Underworld is going to try and break the base here. They're going to try and take this tower and try and push for the Phoenix. But it does look like Tyrant is going to back and try and teleport back in. Having wards all up and down the lane. And they're going to take that T2, and they're going to keep pushing. Having a strong advantage here, having Fire Giant.
To the skies, going up! To the skies, going in! A banish from Freya, getting rid of Death the King. And Neptune Spartan getting rid of Guardian Wolf Soul. Sending Freya back the hard way. As no Phoenixes remain standing and no towers either. The Underworld look for game. Sanctified Field going out.
Frenzy coming down from Five Tribe.
Timbo twice finding Death the King. and Ice Shards securing the win for Underworld.
And with that, Underworld will take the set 2-0 out from under Vibe Tribe. A good game coming out from both teams. I definitely think that there was some things that could be improved, but what can I say? Underworld getting it done, doing great work. Exactly what I had said before that. If they take out Guardian Wolf Soul, even though Timbo was the main one doing the damage, the Guardian Wolf Soul and that Freya being an absolute terror and concern due to her late game potential, being the first one out of that fight was a great choice by Underworld and led to them ending that game.
Guardian Wolf Soul indeed having a much better slash line than last game, 9-6-3, very much better than going straight even. But when all of your wins come in lane and Death the King just says, "Okay, I have team fight," what more is Freya gonna do?
And let's talk about Epic Wizard and Neptune. Do, using so much of their effects and doing so much off the CC of their front line and off that teamwork. Epic Wizard being able to get to that late game Tsukiyomi and Neptune getting to the late game Hell and being able to zone out and fight anyone easily in 1v1s. Epic Wizard using his abilities and keeping that Thanatos of Kaynade out of so many fights and keeping him out from being able to go in on his backlines just by the sheer damage he had was ridiculous. Like on that
Not
Fire
to
Giant
mention,
fight,
not to
almost
mention,
killing him just trying to peel him off.
not to mention, how many times do we see Epic Wizard strike Thanatos in the air with that ult and force Thana to say, "Nope, can't fight this anymore," while in his ult?
That's the concern about Thanatos into Tsukiyomi is during that startup of the ult, he has the opportunity to just laser beam you down with that piercing moonlight so he can get that full damage in. And it's a concern because you think you're safe going up into the Thanatos ult, but there's no safety when piercing moonlight gets all of its effects off hitting you when you're on the ground, and that damage comes through after.
Absolutely.
But a
Very, very good set by both teams, though. One team does have to come out on top. The Underworld continuing their undefeated start of the season, 2-0 heading into week 3.
Yeah, and Underworld doing a great job. Neptune playing like crazy, and Epic Wizard doing so much, and just all of them playing so well as a team. You you know, fighting in the sanctified fields as a group, fighting when they have any little bit of pressure, and using that to their advantage constantly. Underworld did great job pressing that advantage, and I think that the main problem for this Vibe Tribe squad was really never being able to group as a full five, as well as never getting a prophetic cloak online. Having no person on their team, not solo, not support, building a prophetic, while the Ymir building it, nay, not getting it fully stacked, but still building it. The item is so strong, even after the 15 magical, 15 physical nerf on it, it's still one of the best items in the game due to how potent it can be.
Absolutely. And honestly, one of the brightest things I've seen this Ymir play from D's here, those walls were clean. Those are some of the cleaner walls I've seen, and that's in Lance.
Yeah, doing very well at walling people into the sanctified field was very strong, as well as the Horus of Tyron. Just able to get your team in, using that to the sky so well of diving into the back lines whenever any front line was too far forward or too far back, able to get picks that no other god would be able to get his team into situations to do so. The team playing so well, and I can only assume that they will continue to play well, doing very well as a team. Their best part of the game was when they grouped up and fought as five.
That being said, I don't have any more to say. Both these teams' gameplay ends up speaking for itself quite well. If you do you have anything more to say before we leave?
I think that both teams, there is some good and some bad, obviously, need to work on communication with each other. Um, and with that, early season, everyone's still learning and figuring out their new teams since it is a draft league. And hopefully, by the end of the season, both teams will do better with themselves. I know a little bit of a miscommunication with Jolly Green using landfall and ulting people out of the hovering death during the Phoenix sieges was a little bit rough, to say the least, saving a player off of Underworld. But I think that, with time comes improvement, and I just looking forward to seeing where these teams go. With
Fair
that,
enough.
as we said, Underworld will take it 2-0. Will go 2-0 into their week 3 games, and Vibe Tribe will fall to 1-1. And we hope to see y'all in the future when we go to week 3.
That being said, don't forget 7 p.m. East, Going Ghosts and Ice Age, Arthur Division being cast by Helanu and Raptor. They'll see you then.